Hello everyone and welcome back to the bankroll build-up. As you can see, I currently have $574 in the account, and right now the goal is to get to 600 so I can move up from 5.10 to 10 cent 25 cent. Let's get into the action. Very first hand here, we are dealt 10-7 offsuit. Face a raise, and because we're in the big blind, we're getting a cheap price to see a flop. The flop gives us a straight flush draw. We are definitely going to be betting here as a c-bet. Or not as a c-bet, but as a bluff. And we get a fold. Perfect way to start off by winning a pot. With the second hand, we are dealt 9-7 suited. With the second hand, we are dealt 9-7 suited. We open up from the button. We see one call from the big blind, and the flop comes down and gives us bottom pair. With bottom pair, we just want to keep the pot small, so we're going to just check. With the jack on the turn giving us a gut shot, I don't think anything else really changes here. Usually I'm going to be wanting to just check back and trying to see a showdown. The river brings in the front door flush, but I feel like this could be a spot where you want to call because we have shown no aggression after the flop. We do end up calling, and he drilled a set of threes on the river. It's just the way she goes sometimes. Alright, sitting here with Jack 10 suited, facing an open from the cutoff and a call from the button. We're going to just call in the big blind and see a flop. And bingo! We flop the flush right away. You'll love to see it. Now, as we are in the big blind, I think we're just going to check this one and cross our fingers and pray that somebody raises. Yes, exactly what we wanted. We see a raise from the button. And here, when the initial raiser just checks, it's probably quite likely that he doesn't have much, but if we call, we can convince him to make some very loose calls himself to try and chase some draws. Because when we put our money in, it just increases his pot odds as well. We get exactly that to happen, and we see a turn, which is a 9, changing not a whole lot. Possible straight draws like 7-8 get there, which would be great, but we check again, and it checks to the button again, when he bets out around half pot. Just over half pot. We decide now is the time to raise. Just try and get in as much money as possible. Don't want to see another club roll off. That would kill a lot of action. So we're just trying to hope that we can cooler the man on the button. We see a call, and the 10 of diamonds comes, changes nothing. We're still very happy with our hand. And the way that the betting is played out, we're left with just under a half pot bet left. So I think there's nothing else we can do here except for just put it all in and hope for a call. So we put it all in, but we see a fold. But it is all good. We will take that profit. The very next hand, we see Jack 10. We open it up from the cutoff. We see a min raise from button. Here I think we're just going to call. Sometimes you can 4-bet, but we're just going to call this time and see a flop. Comes ace high, it's going to be a lot of his range, but because we flopped open-ended, I don't think we're going anywhere. Alright, we don't hit the straight, but we do hit a 10. Now sitting with second pair, we're still behind aces, or any paired ace, excuse me. So we're just going to check to him and see what he wants to do with it. He decides to bet big here. And without the open-ended draw, I think sometimes we can just fold. But because we still have the open-ended draw, we're just going to call. We do not hit our straight. Complete brick. So I think we're going to just check to him, pray that he was bluffing with diamonds, and is just going to give up. But if he bets here, I think we should be folding almost all the time, because it's going to be almost always an ace in his range. Kind of sucks, but it's just got to be a fold. Folds to us on the button when we're setting with ace 10 off. I think this is pretty standard open. Flop come down's king high, but we do have second pair with the 10. With second pair, we are going to just check back. Now that we check back and jack comes, we are just going to be calling, because if he wants to be aggressive, he can bet out a lot on the turn. Now he checks when he sees the ace on the river. We bet, and we get extremely lucky by binking the ace, getting him just over his 2 pair. Very lucky outcome there. Now with king queen sitting on the button, cutoff raises, and we're just going to call, see if we can see a flop. You love to see it. Flop top pair, pretty good kicker. Not much more you can ask. Here, I think all you want to do is call because we don't have the pre-flop range advantage. Now, the turn gets even better. We now have trips. We got to hope that Stoffel has aces or something here, but I think a lot of the time he's just going to be bluffing on the flop because almost all of the kings are locked up now. And if he did have a king himself, he would be betting the turn, I would assume. Here, sitting with a king, with a lot of draws that are possible, with hearts and straight draws, I think we definitely just have to bet, try and get value. Oh wow, as we are multi-tabling, we have another hand coming into action. We see a call on the left table. I think we just have to go for value here. Try and target his 10s. If we see a raise, we'll probably have to fold though. On the right table, we have ace-10 suited facing a raise from the hijack. We're just going to call on the button. All right, we see a fold on the left table, but pretty decent sized pot. We'll take it. All right, very low flop on the right table. We are going to just call because we have 2 overs and he's going to be c-betting a lot. We hit our ace on the turn and now a 3 on the river. When it goes check, check on the turn, I think we just got to call down if he bets. Now that it checks to us though, can we get value from anything? I'm not sure what we're getting value from, but in the moment, I assumed I could. Possibly kings, a worse ace that isn't 2 pair. It's pretty slim, but there are a couple things that we can get. We see a call from kings, there you go. Love to get that thin value. Now we are here in the small blind facing a raise from the hijack. The king queen suited, we're going to raise it up, and our 3-bet size is going to be a little bigger than normal because we are in the small blind and out of position. We want to try and tempt him to fold because we'd rather not play this pot out of position. We do see a call from him anyways, and the flop is actually pretty good for us. We flop the second nut flush draw on a 5-5 deuce flop. I don't believe there's going to be too many 5s in his range other than ace-5 suited, which only leaves 2 combos. So we bet out, and we see a call. The turn brings us top pair now, which we are very happy with. We're going to continue betting now that we have a made hand, and a fairly strong made hand as well. We see a call from him on the turn. Now sitting with top pair. Can we get value from worse queens in the situation? Probably not. He's going to have some bluffs in the situation, even though we are blocking it. But we're just going to check to him and play from there. With $8 in the pot, he now bets half pot. And you have to think, what is he going to be betting with here? We are blocking the main bluff, which is clubs. Could he be doing this with a better queen, possibly ace-queen. It is in his range. Ace-queen offsuit would call a 3-bet and not 4-bet. I think this may be a fold in this situation. We're blocking a lot of his bluffs, and it's not an ideal spot to be calling down when you're blocking all your bluffs. We make I think, terrible decision. We end up calling, and he shows us the ace-queen. It's just not what you want to do. Well, we just lost a pretty big hand there. Hopefully we can make it back here with Queen Jack of Diamonds. Such a pretty hand. Sitting here on the big blind, you can go either way with a 3-bet or a call. The button decides to 3-bet for us, so we are just going to call and try and see a flop. The original raiser folded, which is very interesting. And the flop comes down queen high, giving us top pair. We only have a decent kicker. He is going to have ace-queen, king-queen sometimes, usually probably just king-queen suited. He does decide to c-bet about half pot. We are not going anywhere, though. We call. Turn comes down a 3 of diamonds, complete brick, changing nothing. Let's see what he wants to do here on the turn. Goes for another bet, still under half pot, though. I think there's nothing really else we can do except for call. When the flop comes down, the 5 of diamonds, I think this is a perfect spot to just check call again. He's probably going to be betting like this with a lot of his spade draws. He is going to have some better queens sometimes, but you just can't be folding this here, especially when he only bets half pot, now jams for 3/4 pot. I don't think there's a spot where you can be folding Queen Jack. We do think about it for a long while, but after some deliberation, we are going to make this call. And we see kings. Not what you like to see, but I don't mind my call down in this spot. All right, after losing 2 semi-big pots, we finally get a premium here with queens. We open it up from the hijack and see a call from the cutoff. And now a 3-bet from the button. You'll love to see it. We are obviously going to be 4-betting here. Just trying to get as much money in as we can when you got a premium. And we get a call. Oh, baby, you'll love to see it. Flopping middle set with the queens. Now you got to just cross your fingers that he's got ace-king or something so we can get paid off here. When the flop is somewhat monotone, you got 2 clubs out there, got a lot of draws, you're going to want to be betting. I would have preferred to bet a little bit bigger in this spot because we're also going to have the range advantage. And when you have the range advantage, you can bet larger. So you can just get paid off more when you actually have it, like we do now. The turn brings another club, which is not ideal, but I still think we can get a lot of value from ace-king, which is exactly what he has. He does have the redraw with the clubs, which is a little scary, but we got it in good. We run it twice, and we scoop. You love to see it. All you need is a little bit of good luck after 2 bad pots. Very next hand, the luck continues. We get ace-king suited in the big blind. Just the best spot. You love to see it. See a raise from the low jack, and then the cutoff decides 3-bet. So obviously, ace-king suited, you got a cold 4-bet in the big blind. He just jams it in there, and I think this is an easy call off. Perfect. He flips over the queens. We got 2 live cards. You gotta just cross your fingers and pray to the poker gods. Come on, baby. Hit a king. Run clean. That's 1. One more time. Hit an ace on the flop. Let's go. Hold. Hold. Nice. And we scoop both of them. You love to see it. Again, I must have hit up the GG poker manager or something. Told him to start giving me some good cards because I was making such bad plays. But that's just poker sometimes. You can play bad and still be profitable. You can play good and be stuck 4 buy-ins. You never know. Very next hand, we got aces. Like the next hand on the same table. So, the luck was in my favor this session. We get a raise from the low jack. The button just flat calls. We obviously got to raise it up. We want more money in here. Perfect, just what you want to see. Oh, bang! Top set! Let's go! We get a call from the low jack. Smash top set. The only downside when you smash top set is it leaves your opponent with not much to call with, especially when you have the ace of hearts. So blocking a lot of his nut draws as well. We got to bet though with top set. You always got to get your value in, especially at these lower ranks. We bet on the flop, get a call, bet on the turn, get a fold, but that's all right. We take down the $5 pot. Overall, we end the day with $583 in the account. But as you can see, it was clearly just a lot of luck. That green line there is what we won, but the brown line is what we should have won if our all-ins were dished out equally. So on the day, we won about $14, but we really should have lost a couple dollars. Anyways, pays off to be lucky. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to continue following the journey. Peace.